StarCraft 2 Hearts of the Swarm is the second chapter in what is to become the StarCraft 2 trilogy, pushing the story of StarCraft along and adding more to this great real-time strategy experience. The raging war between the three signature races of the StarCraft universe continues as you follow the stories of the Terrans, the Protoss and the Zerg. With the previous StarCraft entry focusing on the plight of the Terrans, we now pick up where we left off and join the Zerg as part of the Swarm.
Open the door, son.
Valerian's orders, sir. No visitor.
Open the door.
Taking off from the end of the previous entry, Wings of Liberty, we follow the plight of Sarah Kerrigan as she is driven by a desire for revenge on the long-time series antagonist Arcturus Mengs. We see how following her rescue and restoration to humanity, the ties change and she returns to the Zerg once more. At first she reluctantly returns to the Zerg, using them to her advantage, before being reincarnated as the Queen of Blades and leader of the Zerg Swarm.
And me.
Until Mengs is dead, there can't be a you and me.
The story is enjoyable, but isn't especially gripping, and for the most part is highly predictable. However, it does create a believable universe and sense of drive between the missions. The universe around the story, however, is fantastically woven, and there's plenty of detail to keep you satisfied and immersed. Between the missions you can talk to the various characters that you meet for a bit of extra backstory. However, as with many of the games in the real-time strategy genre, the story isn't especially grand, but does provide a decent backdrop behind the core aspects of the game. The visuals do not differ from the previous installment other than various optimizations. Those on a budget will be pleased to know that the game has a wide variety of performance options. However, if you can, it's well worth pumping up the visuals to extreme and staring in awe at the vibrant and beautiful maps, although some of the units still look a little blocky when you zoom in. The majority of the cutscenes are all pre-rendered, which means playing on lower graphics won't steal you from the fantastic scenes you can witness. Those of you who are more well equipped will be treated to crisp detailed units and structures, as well as a great physics system where you'll see pieces of your enemies fly across the screen.
Jim!
Damn it! Sarah, I'll find another way to you.
Well, you better hurry, or I'll kill.
StarCraft has reigned as one of the most successful real-time strategy games for a long time, and that's not about to change with this entry. The gameplay is fast, detailed and deep. It is everything you would expect from this historically great title. The main missions of the campaign offer some great variety and interesting situations. It provides a good introduction of how the Zerg race operates, and introduces you into the race steadily as mission by mission it provides the various units at your disposal, and shows you the ideal ways in which to use them. The missions themselves offer a nice degree of variance, as each mission isn't just as simple as destroying the enemy base, but will often incorporate other mechanics such as intercepting transport ships, guarding a specific location or units, and completing objectives with limited resources. Although the variance is welcome, many of the objectives are very similar to ones already seen in the previous title. For example, there is one mission where you have to intercept Protoss carriers before they escape the planet, which is extremely similar to a mission in Wings of Liberty where you have to intercept trains carrying supplies. It is understandable that there is limited room for variance within the confines of the game. However, there are some great moments such as where you fight a giant enemy in a more action game-like segment. The theming of the campaign is excellently woven around the Zerg. Everything from the HUD visuals to your ship fits the theme especially well. There is also an overlying concept of evolution and evolving the Swarm. Many of the characters you meet are constantly informing you about how they need to evolve or how the Swarm will evolve. This theme is most evident in the evolution chamber, a portion of your ship where you can look at your available units and choose from 3 mutations that change them in various ways, such as attacking faster or being able to move whilst burrowed. What's great about this is, unlike in Wings of Liberty, you could get locked out from some upgrades, as they cost cash, and there isn't enough to purchase all of them. In Heart of the Swarm, however, you can swap them out as you please. This interchangeable aspect adds a great degree of easy customization. As well as these interchangeable upgrades, there are also evolution missions, where you can permanently improve a unit to have one of 2 major changes. For example, you can choose to have Zerglings that can jump at walls and jump at enemies, or you can choose to have them spawn quicker and in higher quantities. Since you can only choose one mutation, the game allows you to complete the evolution mission, where you can have a demo of both potential changes before you choose, which is a great touch as it allows you to experience both and allows for your own personal taste to be satisfied. However, I feel these missions could have been fleshed out a little more, where you specifically need either mutation to succeed. However, the missions serve only as a demo. This is a little disappointing, as during the regular missions there is often very little opportunity in which a certain unit mutation would be advantageous. As you gain more and more of the units and their mutations, the game's difficulty doesn't really increase. It remains in a strange limbo, and certain evolution choices are a little overpowered. For example, I had swarm hosts that spat out constant small locusts, as well as broodlords throwing their more tiny little broodlings at them. And on top of that, I had roaches that would infect enemies and produce smaller roaches upon death. This allows me to rinse through most of the levels far too easily, as I had many units that could just make a free army for me every few seconds. On top of this, you will have to manage a hero unit or two. These are extremely powerful units that offer various abilities, however have to be kept alive. The main unit that you will be using will be Kerrigan, who levels up along the course of the game and gets new abilities that will allow you to heal units, summon more units, or allow you to mine resources faster. It is a welcome addition, but having a unit that constantly heals your army, again, adds to the constant feeling of a difficulty in limbo. All in all, I was fairly satisfied with the campaign. It was a good length and doesn't throw anything at you that you can't handle. The missions vary enough to avoid keeping things stale, and the new units and unit mutations add for some fun and interesting situations, if not a little overpowering. However, I don't feel that the campaign particularly challenged me. However, less experienced players might not experience the same lack of difficulty. My main gripe was that I never felt rewarded for my choices of evolution. There was never a time that I thought, you know, Zerglings being able to jump up cliffs really helped me out back there.
Minerals. Not enough 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 minerals.
Finally, we have arguably the most dominating factor of the StarCraft titles, the multiplayer. StarCraft has long been a popular competitive RTS choice, and is a long-standing esports title. The multiplayer has a frightening learning curve of learn fast or die trying, as it is vastly different to the gameplay of the campaign. To sum the experience up, Heart of the Swarm is a nice title. The campaign and story is interesting and varied, if not a little forgettable. The visuals are great and gameplay is exciting, and the title offers great flexibility for new players. The time has never been better to jump onto this popular title's multiplayer and cult following. I would recommend the title to both new and experienced players and urge you all to take a shot at the fantastic multiplayer. However, be warned, some people may be turned off at the lack of content available.